and I'll come to you. 1 second. It says you can share it
Okay.
on your Facebook and Instagram now or whenever. I'll do a little bit of an intro right now.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 631. I'm sorry, Stoner TV, you were not my first.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
but you got in there, so hey.
Hey.
So the thing is that these interviews are so you guys at home who usually have your clothes on can sit at home and be relaxed and get to know who comedians are off stage and see if you like them, get to know who they are, like what are their interests? What do they do when they're not trying to be funny? Are they a dad? Are they doing something nonprofit in the community? Do they reach back and help other comedians? How long have they been doing comedy? The typical kind of questions an old lady would ask. So, like, if we met at a coffee shop, what would that conversation be? What could it be? Now you get to find that out right here at home, whether you're dressed or not. Don't tell us. A lot of you don't watch it at the moment, and we are fine with that. Go on over to YouTube, comedian Linda Marcus Smith, and subscribe for crying out loud. I've done 900 and some, and I've only got 300 and some subscribers. Something must be wrong, and it's not me. Kidding. Today, we have a special guest, and I'm going to have him, for a change, say his own introduction. That way, I won't mess it up. How's that for fun? Let's switch it up for you guys at home. So you can always share this so that other people can be so blessed to see these interviews of great comedians and follow them and like them and get to make them more popular. Come on, you guys, let's help other comedians. Give a little. So today I want to introduce you to somebody I've taken a shine to, and none of you know what it means to take a shine. You think that I'm sexually attracted. No, I'm telling you, this guy's going to be something. He's already out there killing it in the comedy community. Let's get to know him right now, right here on Comic Spot. Stoner TV, tell us your intro.
What's going on? I'm Stoner TV. Thank you for having me on. You can find me at a lot of locations. You can find me on Instagram at Stoner TV. You can find me on YouTube on Stoner TV Podcast. You can find me on all social medias at Stoner TV. Thank you again for having me on. I'm sorry it took so long, but we finally made it.
So tell us who you are. Tell if you were going to do your own intro live, introduce yourself on stage and brag yourself up a bit. What's the best intro you could tell?
I would come out and I would say, "What's up, everybody? Stoner Team. My name is Rudy. I've done a lot of great things with a lot of comedians. I've done a lot of good things with people in the industry. I've also got a lot of films that I've done as well. Well, here I am. Let's get it."
Let's get it. I think I'll have everybody say their own intro from now on. That was fun. Oh my gosh. So tell everybody what city you're in right now.
I'm in Huntington Beach right now, over at the studio, getting some stuff done because we got a lot of things that are coming up this week alone.
Tell us about what's coming up this week.
Well, this week we got a grand opening in Los Angeles by the name of OG Kush. We're going to be sitting down with Derek Fisher, the NBA superstar. We're going to be sitting down with Gary Payton. We're going to be sitting down with Rick Ross. We're going to be doing, then after that, that's tomorrow. And as soon as we're done with that, we're flying out to Arizona to go host the Orange County Cannabis Awards. I'll be hosting the main stage with a whole bunch of people that are coming on stage. Cottonmouth Kings, Too Short, Corrupt, a whole bunch of artists in the industry, and it's amazing. Oh. And plus, over the weekend when we get back, we're doing the turnaround. So we gotta come back as soon as we're done. We're going over to San Diego to do a beach cleanup as well with a company called Inspired by Cannabis. Well, they've been doing it for many of years. They've been hitting us up, and we're going out to San Diego the day after our event.
That's so cool. You're giving back to the community.
Of course, you have to, because they're the ones that brought us up, and we got to show love. And that's my whole thing I got into this for. And I always heard the expression, you can't help people if you can't help yourself. Well, I got myself to that position where I can help out people to a certain extent, but I'm trying to get to that point where I can help out even further, and that's why I built this whole platform, so I can do something like this.
Absolutely. So we have to go into your childhood, because I've found that there's a connection somewhere when you grew up, making you so wonderful today. That's my purpose when I want my people to get to know you, why I dig into people's childhood. So with that in mind, could you tell us where you were born and raised and what your childhood was like, when you became funny, who encouraged you in your life on and off stage?
I was born in Santa Ana, California. My life was very interesting. Both of my parents were working all the time. I was always in school, was always in daycare, but it got to a point where my brother and my sister came to my family, our lives, and it got, more connected. I would say I get all the funny side and the spark from my late mother that passed away very recently. She's my heart, and she's the one that told me, and all my life, doesn't matter what people say about you, you be you. There's a way you can change the world, and that's by a smile or that's by a comment. So I've been living by that ever since then. We were traveling a lot when I was a child. I was going out to the Grand Canyon. I was going pretty much traveling almost the world with my family. And since we got older, that kind of disappeared a little bit, moved out to Corona, California, and started my life here all over again.
Wonderful. So Corona is just like, it's like between the Inland Empire and Orange County.
Correct.
Yeah, I like that little town. I lived in Menifee for 15 years.
Okay, right up, like, what's that, like from here? That's a good hour. No, that's not bad.
Yeah, yeah. I like Corona a lot. It's cute. It's nestled nicely in the hills. It's beautiful.
It's that little dot on the map.
Yeah, yeah. So you grew up and you had a brother and a sister later when you were, what age did you?
When I was like, I believe I was 9, my brother came into the picture. It was incredible. I had my little brother. His name was Michael. God rest his soul as well too.
You lost your mother and your brother?
And my grandfather. Yeah. It's been pretty bad here for the last, I'm gonna say, last couple of years. Just 2 months ago, I just lost my grandfather and my mother in the same day.
Gee, how did they pass? I'm so sorry.
My grandfather, he passed away because he had lung problems, and COVID got him, and he was in the hospital. They put him on a respirator, and then they called us and said, you know what, there's not much we can do left. And then sure enough, an hour later, they called and said my grandfather passed away. And then a couple hours later, we got another call. My mom passed away because my mom, ever since my sister was born, she suffered with blood in her urine, kidney problems.
Your mom?
And she was on dialysis for a very, very long time, where we would have to take her at least 3 times a week. She would go to the doctors all the way in LA to go see Dr. Klein. He's a very good doctor, very great doctor. After 7-8 years of being on dialysis, she got a transplant. As soon as she got the transplant, like literally as soon as she got it, she was in Ohio for about 2 months to recover. She came back, then my brother passed. And then her kidneys started failing again, started getting worse. And then there was infections, there were things that were going on to the point where they had to put her in a hospital. We were talking to her and the doctor says she's slipping away. Yeah, I got to talk to her the night before she passed too, and she said something to me that really stuck with me, and I'm very happy I got to enjoy a last, laugh with her. It was just the morning of getting the call by my grandfather, my dad's dad. And then my dad calls me again and he's like, you need to get down here to the hospital. Your mom, it's not gonna be good. So I ended up rushing down there. It's just me and my sister and my father. But yeah, we got to it's hard. It's hard, but I I keep my mind busy, and seeing everybody smile these days, especially with the way the world's going, was full of, people that are just going crazy. It's that one smile that can change the world, and I believe, I'm on that way, I'm headed that way because each smile I see, it fills my heart, and I'm happy about that.
Yes. So you grew up, you had two siblings when you were around 9, you started getting siblings. And when did you start becoming funny?
I would say at the age of maybe 10, they would call me the class clown. And I would make the class just laugh if there's like a bad situation going on. All of a sudden, I'm like, people will start looking at me for relief. And all of a sudden, I'll just throw something out there and the whole class will laugh. Even the teacher will get in and laugh about it. And, around around
That's
the age of, yeah, around that age, I started being a little funny.
okay. And so you're the class clown, and the class always looked to you for levity. And
Correct.
and did any adults come along and say, you should think about writing or performing comedy or acting or being a funny play? Did anybody come along and help you get into performing in any way?
No, all that I did myself.
Tell me
People,
about that.
well, it was pretty hard. I did have a lot of people tell me you should be in the movies, you should do a voiceover, you should be a comedian, you should get up on stage. People were telling me that all my life. Until one day I said, you know what, I'm gonna try it. I didn't know how to get into it. I didn't know which route I was taking. So I learned by trial, like everybody should. Learn by your mistakes, because those mistakes you can make it better into something great. And that's what I did. My first one, I would say, first day, first time I got on Instagram and I was just letting people know I'm Stoner TV, was going out to all these events, going out doing little shows here and there, got on stage, introduced myself, just getting all the networking out. And just from there, it blew up. I got myself in the entertainment industry when I was young. I first started hanging out with George Lopez when I was like 20. I was working at an arena at the time, and I've been working in arenas for the last, well, I was working in arenas for 20 years. I was working like at the Honda Center. I was working for the Staples Center. They traveled me all around the world too. I went to Beijing and worked for the Olympics. But around those times, I got to introduce myself to all these stars, entertainers, professional players, and I became real good friends with them because a lot of them tell me, I'm happy that you came to me as a person and not as a fan. I said, that's right, because we're all people. And he goes, well, the fans always come to me. They want this, they want this, they want this, they want this. But you came in genuine. You came in yourself. You came in offering bare like gifts. Like sometimes when I introduce myself, I'll bring a cup of coffee, like maybe a donut, whatever's nearby I can hand them to. But yeah, ever since then, it's been a roll. Um, I would say it really picked up the last 2 years because I even started working with Death Row Records, Chris Glove Taylor. I was doing some video shots for him. I was doing some video shots for Tato Vision and other people, but it was great. We did a mansion party very recently. We've been doing festivals, car shows, and stuff like that. And the entertainment industry, you just got to keep moving. That's what I
Yeah.
learned this whole time.
So what's some of the highlights of the people you've actually done comedy with or gotten to meet? Who are some of your absolute favorites and why?
I would say Pablo Francisco, my favorite comedian, because the way he goes out there and he just sweats himself down because he's out there moving, making voices, and just I love the way he is. Even in person, he's the same way. You can find him. We were at Walmart maybe a couple months ago, and he's just sitting there talking to the cashier, and all these voices start coming out of him. She's cracking up. People in line started cracking up, and it's funny. But I would say the best part would be meeting Big Boy, a Big Boy Power. He used to do his Power 106. Now he's doing Big Boy's Neighborhood. But
Yes.
when I first met him, it was exciting because I've been watching him and listening to him ever since I was a kid, and watching what he does. I hope to be there one day.
So you're talking about Pablo Francisco.
Pablo Francisco and also Big Boy from Big Boy's Neighborhood.
Got it.
He's yes.
Tell me about him. What were you gonna say?
He's on Big Boy's Neighborhood. He was part of Power 106 back in the days. He's a big MC in the industry, and he's really good. He's a legend.
Wow, I'll have to look him up. Big Boy.
Yes.
Super. So what have you got going on now in the next month or so that you want people to know about?
Well, we got, like I said earlier, we got that grand opening that's going on tomorrow in Los Angeles at OG Kush with Derek Fisher, with Gary Payton, with Rick Ross, and one of the females from Basketball Housewives. And we also got 30% off throughout the whole store. After that, the next day, we're going to be in Arizona at Las Vegas Cannabis Awards Show. We're going to be hosting the main stage out there. After that, we're going to be in San Diego at the Holding Company for a King Click show where I'm going to open up for them, do a little comedy. And then after that, we got we got a movie nights coming up on the 25th, all medicated. We also got,
What city is the movie nights in?
The movie night is in Lake Forest. We're going to be doing it out there at a private residence that's going to hold over maybe about 200 people. We're going to have food vendors. We're going to have Q&A with artists and also the directors. We're going to have live bands. And after that, we're going to move more into the festival scene since summer's getting right in the middle of summer. We're going to be doing something big in San Diego and in Long Beach. First, we have to wait on some permits. Then we're going to get the green light. But we got a lot of things, a lot of shows coming up. We got a lot of events coming up. We're going to be traveling a lot more too. We got this idea that's coming out. We got all the teams already set up. We're going to be doing going all around the United States, looking at every dispensary. We're going to be judging them on the flower, on the concentrates, and on the edibles. So we're going to have multiple teams that are going to go and do that, and we're going to have fun. And hopefully, once we're done with the United States, we can move on to the rest of the world.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
you know, you've been around the cannabis business before it was legalized every so much. Do you want to
Yes.
speak? Do you want to speak to how that's been for you?
I would say, on the honest truth, I would say it kind of messed it up a little bit because at some of these festivals, you can't have the mom and pops that were trying to make a 9 to 5 for their families to come out and sell their products or even to sell their. Well, I don't. When I mean products, I don't only mean by marijuana. I mean by like T-shirts, necklaces, headbands, apparels, and the whole prop thing stopped them from being able to come into these shows and venue their stuff off. Now you gotta be licensed, you gotta have certain documents, and it's so much to the point where only people like Walmart can survive in this. And that's why they have a bunch of people have these little secret sessions that show up every now and then until somebody comes in and shuts that down. But it's sad. It's a game that's being played, especially with what's going on in the Senate right now. And
What's going on and tell us what's going on in the Senate, because I'm
they're
oblivious.
well, they're going to be passing the bill on allowing marijuana to be legalized here in California and
Okay.
all over the United States. But there's a lot of people also that stops that like they do every other year. So I would say the scene has really gotten weird over the time. And you can see even through the people, you can find out who's the real genuine people or who are the people who are here to take advantage of people and take their money. And that's showing a lot in this industry within the last 6 months. And it's getting kind of crazy where me and my friend, a good partner of mine, his name's Ross Mike of Nub Radio, him and I teamed up together. Him and I joined forces, and it's never been heard in the cannabis industry at all, where you got two people of the different cultures together that are trying to spread the word of love and trying to spread good vibes out there. Even though everything's going on, we're out there pushing that out. And we're continuing to push that out no matter what.
That's so cool. So aside from comedy, entertainment, television, promoting, who are you when you're not a public figure?
Who am I? I'm a father of one. He lives with his mother. We've been separated for the last 10 years. Um, I am an entrepreneur. I am an adventurous, and I like to keep busy. But
Do you have,
I'm also a humble guy. A lot of girls say I'm a big teddy bear
oh,
because I'm so warm and fluffy, and and one of them goes, well, because I always bring the picnic baskets.
oh my gosh. So you're what like I like to ask this question, so just humor me with your answer. If you had $1 million and you wanted to accomplish something for the world, so you would be able to provide something for the world and you would definitely be remembered, it would be your legacy, what would that be?
Oof. I would say I would get a piece of land and I would talk to so many farmers, as in vegetational farmers, cow people, people that provide for the human race, as in food wise. And I would sit down. I would love to sit down with them and send them a proposal of how can we feed the world within 2 years. How can we feed the world in 2 years? That's what I would do. I would sit down with them and I would try to sit down and talk about that.
So I'm glad I asked the question because in the month of June, do you know who the Jackie Mo show is? Jackie Monahan and Lisa Haas. They have the Jackie Mo show under Sammy Obaid's KO comedy. And the two of them, the Jackie Mo show is starting where they're going to be going out and getting a full 501c3, and they're going to hit up gajillionaires to end world hunger. Like they're going to hit up the richest of the rich to donate money to really end hunger around the world. So I don't know if you want to be a part of that discussion. I'd love you to be a part of it.
That'd be great.
Can I put your name in the hat for Jackie Mo?
You definitely can. I would love to be a part of that. I would love to hear what they have to say.
Let's put our heads together. Even if we all go our separate ways and do 5 or 10 different things, nothing but good can come out of talking about it.
Exactly.
I'll let them know that you're interested as well. And then we'll get a hold of you. They have a date in early June set up to be on Zoom to talk.
Okay. We could definitely.
And I got to ask you, before we go, I don't want to bend your ear too long with my questions, but I have to ask you. So you're having 2 basketball legends this coming week with, I can't remember Gary Payton, and who is the other from the Lakers?
Derek Fisher. He was a former Laker.
Yeah, I remember him. And so those 2 are NBA basketball people.
Correct.
And then you got Rick Ross.
Correct.
He's not basketball.
No.
So how did that happen?
Because he has one of his products that is going to be revealed in the store that day, which he's going to be pushing out to sell.
Got it. Is he a big basketball? Is he excited to go be with them?
Oh yeah, no, he's a big basketball fanatic. Yeah, he really is. He's always sit there and he's done shows himself where he talks about basketball, he talks about sports and stuff like that. No, it's really incredible to even sit down and talk to these people.
Yeah, they're such accomplished people.
Yes.
And you're right in the mix with them, and you're accomplishing so much. So I have one last question. You've been on the stage with a lot of people.
Right.
And there's young comics coming up, just no clue what's going on. They're trying to learn the biz. They're out there learning it, making mistakes. What advice would you like to read if a young person comes on here, young in comedy, and you have some advice that can save them a lot of trouble? What advice would you give?
Don't be nervous. Do whatever you can to get yourself unnervous and make yourself comfortable before you go out there.
I like that. I like that a lot. What's the best? Okay, I have one more question.
Okay.
What's the best and worst that's ever happened to you in your career, in any aspect of your career?
You said the best and worst?
Yeah.
Okay. The best would be that I hosted a show for 20,000 people. And we had people on there such as Baby Bash, we had MC Magic, we had Ice Cube, we had Cypress Hill, we had Mr. Capone, we had Chanel West Coast. We had a bunch of people on that, and that was the best. The worst, I would say, is what happened to me the last, like a month ago. You find out in this industry, people are in here to take advantage of you. After my mother passed away, I was given an opportunity to open up a store with a partner called, well, I'm not going to say the names. I don't want any backlashes or anything, but this gentleman, he promised me a lot. We came into this business as partners, and he wanted me to be his camera guy and everything. And I said, okay, this is what it's going to be. This is how much it's going to cost. He was okay with it. He was accepted it, but he paid me one time only. After that, I was I was held hostage inside of the store that we owned. I was being yelled at every day. He was pretty much, I didn't have money, and he was that the whole store and the whole process thing was my money that was coming in. He was refusing to pay me. Uh, it was bad. It was bad. We had 5 other partners, but they all left because the way he was treating everybody. He was treating everybody like crap in the industry. He was taking advantage of vendors. He was taking advantage of even producers and artists. And to the point where 90% of those people have walked away from him. But I walked away with, before I even joined him, I had a career. I was doing AC work. I have my EPA license. I was doing air conditioning for people's homes and stuff. I quit my career to come and join a business because everybody wants that in their life. Everybody wants to own a business. And I ended up broke out of all of it. I ended up all my money gone. I used everything, and now I have to pick up again. But thanks to the cannabis community, they're really out there helping me, striving even more. They saw what happened, and they're hitting me up all the time. You're all right. You're right. We got your back. We have you. You want to come do our event? We would love to have you. And it's been a blessing ever since then. But
Wow.
there is people out there that will take advantage of you, will hype you up. Oh, you're this, you're that, you're so awesome, But at the end of the day, are they just hyping you up, or are they there to take advantage?
Absolutely. I just want to encourage people that just heard this, that if you're being mistreated, just because somebody is a producer, manager, husband, if you know inside your gut that you're not being treated correctly, you don't owe people your loyalty when they break a code. So stand up for ethics. Get away from people that are, holding you back. Because once you get rid of some dead weight, all kinds of doors open up. Don't be afraid to let go of talk. We throw around toxicity like it's a buzzword, and when you're letting people get away with something and you shouldn't. So just be aware of that and react appropriately, and don't stay in bad situations, right?
Right.
You handled that like a man. You were in it, and you could have resorted to violence.
Right.
And that's another lesson to learn when you're not being treated fairly. I know I was being abused for quite a few years, and I never physically abused back. Never. I could have, but I never did. And I'm proud of you that you got away from it without resorting to violence and getting yourself in trouble.
Right. Like you said, that's the most important thing. You got to kill them with kindness. You got to kill them with kindness. Like what I do usually when people come at me a wrong way or disrespect me, when I see them at an event and I'm hosting on stage, I give them a shout out. I go, hey, there's such and such. How are you? You can't feed into what they give back. If they see you feeding them love, they're gonna be like, what's wrong with this guy? But they're gonna look at it, okay, he's not giving me shit. I'm not gonna give him shit. We're gonna be cool. Okay. But it's not gonna happen overnight. You can't make everybody love you, can't make everybody like you, but you can show them the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Yes. And if somebody, like is disrespectful to you on, say, a Wednesday, see how fast you can get over it and try to get on the same page with them. Like before the week is over, The good book says not to go to bed angry. Well, we all know that's impossible, but do what you can to make peace with each other, because tomorrow isn't promised. We saw that in the last couple of years.
Yes, yes.
I've enjoyed talking to you and getting to know you so much. Is there anything before we go? You can have 5 or 10 minutes to just talk to people if you want to say anything.
Well, I hope everybody out there is having a great day. I hope their week or year is going great. Don't stop just because something bad has happened to you or someone that you know. There's always a brighter side. Yes, everybody always says green is grass. The grass is greener on the other side. You know what? It is true. It is true. But you have to get through that gate first. And that gate is full of people that's going to put you down, people that aren't going to understand what you do or what you're doing. The only person who understands the game plan is you and God. So I hope everybody has a great one. It's been a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you for
Likewise.
having me on. It's been awesome.
I'll have Jackie Monahan get a hold of you about the other thing for World Hunger.
Yes, that would be great. I would love to be on that.
Super. See you later. Thank you so much for taking time to come on to Comic Spot. I appreciate it so much.
Thank
you
you,
guys,
Linda.
Stoner TV, follow him everywhere. Stoner TV, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you. Love you lots.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.